Hello and welcome back to the Insurance Guru. My name is Ayanda Malele and I'm so excited that you're back to watch more videos about this interesting subject of insurance. So a couple of words that you'll probably hear back to forth is something called risk, something called a peril, something called a hazard. And listen, a hazard, a risk for me is the same thing if I'm a normal person that doesn't work in insurance, but they are actually differences to these and how they're applied in insurance. So we will use a very simple, let's use an analogy where I am in a relationship with a guy. I'm in a relationship with a guy, so I'm in love and I think he's amazing, etc. The risk that I stand in this newfound relationship is the risk of heartbreak. It's the risk of being cheated on. It's the risk of being left high and dry. So these are the risks. These are things that could potentially happen. These are they say a risk is the probability of an incident occurring. So in this newly found relationship, the probability of cheating, probability of abuse even, the probability is there, but how big or small is the probability, So that is what a risk is. A peril then is the actual event. So a peril is, now that I've seen things that could happen, the probabilities are there, the chances of this and that are there. Then we move into what are the perils then? The perils are heartbreak, abuse, being dumped on the spot, and a positive upside risk is marriage. So, but those are the risks that I stand to face in this new relationship. And that is where I would then take an insurance policy based on, if he breaks my heart, they will pay me so much. And I'm making just an example here. If he cheats on me, then I will get so much money. And that's then the underwriting concept of that, now we have to look at the partner themselves to say, were they great with the last partner? Did they abuse their last partners? Did they cheat and so forth, to get a premium to then get me to be covered against all these different risks or probabilities, which are called perils. And the perils in a normal insurance policy, let's say your vehicle, you would have lightning, thunder, acts of nature, etc. So it's the actual incident that then occurs that you can insure yourself against. And then we get into a hazard, Now, not everything is hazardous, but a hazard is what increases the probability of that incident occurring. So when we've looked at, the risk that I stand to have my heart broken, and having my heart broken is then divided into in this way or the other. Now the hazards are things like Facebook, because people inbox each other, it's very dodgy. Things like, clubs, things like going to the shops. There's certain types of hazards that are bigger than others. So a big hazard would be social media, definitely, for getting cheated on or getting your heart broken. Another hazard could be, being around all, beautiful, gorgeous women. So if the guy is a photographer and he deals with lots of beautiful women, then that's also a hazard which could increase the probability of the incident occurring. So when we look at the insurance sector or the short-term insurance sector, we then can say, okay, cool, a risk is the probability of an incident occurring. So I could probably crash my car as I drive out of my garage today. So what am I then going to cover myself against? I'm going to cover myself against accidental damage. That is now the peril that is following this risk. What are the hazards that, could be there that pose a higher risk for me? So a potential hazard is maybe that I drive, I'm a motor car driver, racer, and so I drive a little bit faster than normal people. Another thing is that maybe I'm short-sighted and I don't wear my glasses, etc. So those are kind of things that are hazards that would then increase the probability of the risk occurring. Or another hazard is that I've only had my driver's license from yesterday. That's another hazard, because then it could increase the probability, increase the chances of something actually happening. So that is basically the long and short of a risk, a peril, and a hazard. I hope I've tried to explain it in a simple way. And if you don't understand, please leave a comment down below. And also click subscribe, like, tell all your friends and cousins, and go back and watch all my other previous videos. I do hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you in the next video.